There we go. It's more like it. Meh. Hey, King Radonov, what's going on, man? Not much. Eating a healthy breakfast of coffee, cake, and ice cream. I came home from work and I made like 3 of those like really crappy $1 frozen store-bought pizzas. I'm just in one of those kinds of moods today. I may as well have just, like, you know, eaten ice cream. That's right, healthy perfection. As I miss all my shots. Oops. I mean, I'm playing games every day, man. Just beat Dark Souls 2 for the first time. And then I did a second playthrough that I just finished up yesterday. I'll be doing a third over on YouTube on Thursday. Played a bunch of Genesis and Sega CD these last couple weeks, as far as retro stuff is concerned. Yeah, I'd say Dark Souls 2 has probably taken up the most of my time. You know, my first playthrough was something like, you know, 40 plus hours. Second playthrough was like 16 or 17, I think. Yeah, that's been eating up most of my game time the last couple weeks, in particular. What about you? I'm actually, you know, I'm kind of nice my second Dark Souls 2 playthrough is done because, I feel weird having to focus on that game for so much. Normally I don't play really long games, especially not multiple times back to back. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, I gotta do some more TurboGrafx myself. And original Xbox. I've got a decent little library here, but... there's something weird about that generation. Like, I loved it growing up, but when I try to stream it, it just doesn't, like, grab me. The games are great, but it's just something about it where, like, my mind just isn't there with it. We tried doing PS2 last weekend. I played a bunch of different games, but, like, nothing grabbed me. It's just I don't seem to be in the mood for it these days. Which sucks because I've got a ton of the games from that generation because they're all pretty affordable. Most of them, anyway. Yeah, I remember you saying you're going for a full Xbox set. That's really cool. I had thought about trying to do the same because for a little while there I was building up a hefty OG Xbox library. Well, instead of going all out, I decided to downsize and just kind of keep what was interesting to me. Yeah, now's the time to do it. I mean, with how affordable a lot of the library is. Yeah, you're right, it is. It's easy to lose interest in certain systems. I totally agree. There are a bunch of systems I own that I haven't streamed in ages. And it's not even that, like, I think I'm not interested in the systems, it's that I've got so much crap to play, it's like, sometimes it's just hard to focus on something. And in some systems, like my Neo Geo, you know, like, I have to be in the right mood to want to play it, because it's, you know, you're gonna get wrecked. Sometimes you gotta be prepped for that sort of thing. Yeah, I think, did you end up beating Draken on Super Nintendo? I've always wanted to try to beat that game, but I know it's kind of cryptic and kind of takes a little while to get used to. You did beat it. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. What did you think of it? It always seemed like one of those games that was kind of like, it's kind of maligned, like, but it seems like the kind of game where when you get familiar with it and you understand how it works, it's actually kind of cool. Like, I remember playing it back in the day and being able to, like, grab stuff off the walls and being like, whoa, I'd never seen anything like that in a video game. Pleasant surprise. Nice. It's basically what I just said. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that sometime. Definitely. I'm trying to get into the habit of playing more, like, longer games that aren't just, like, games you can't just beat in an hour. So there are a lot of games like that that I've wanted to play through for a long time, but just never have. Says the guy that's playing Quake for the 1000th time. Sometimes you just need to play through a game you're familiar with. You got any plans to play the sequel? I know it's not really a sequel, but Dragon View on Super Nintendo. I don't know why they attached the Draken name to it, but it's actually a pretty cool game. You just finished Area 51. Nice. Yeah, I remember dabbling with that one too, way back in the day. Not the arcade game, but, you know, the Xbox one. And, yeah, it definitely seemed like the gameplay was repetitious. I do remember that. But I didn't play it enough to, like, get invested in the story. Do I even still have that game? I don't still have it. That's actually one of those ones that I got rid of when I downsized my Xbox games. I'm looking at my shelf right now. Maybe I'll have to pick up another copy. I think it's pretty cheap. Okay. Hey, John. Thank you for the host. Yeah, that sounds about right. $5. That sounds about right. And I missed. Yeah, there are a bunch of original Xbox games I want to go back to. Just finding the time, you know? I need to go and beat the Ninja Gaidens. I've only beaten that game once, and that was literally 10 years ago. Almost like to the month, you know? It's been that long. And then there are a bunch of other ones I've always wanted to play, like, you know, Time Splitters 2. I got grabbed by the ghoulies here. I've been meaning to play through that again for years now. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Burnout 3. Mech Assault wouldn't be bad to play. Breakdown, I never beat Breakdown, and then Phantom Dust, I've got that, and like Phantom Dust I always heard great things about, and I just never bothered with it. Grabbed by the Ghoulies is a fun game. I did play that back in the day, and yeah, it was good fun. It's one of those where like it takes a little bit to get used to because the controls are kind of unconventional. But once you get the hang of them, you realize, like, oh, this is, like, the control setup was actually a good idea. Of course, I'm not sure if you have an Xbox One, the best way to play it is on Rare Replay now. Because they got it to where it's running at 1080p, 60 FPS, never slows down, and it's aged a lot better in that regard. But still, the original Xbox version is still great, if that's the only way to play it. I'm just taking my sweet time now. I hear you, man. Well, a good shit, we're probably gonna die. I'm not paying attention now. I mean, a good reason to plug it back in would be the Rare Replay version of Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I mean, it's the exact same game, it's just, it looks and runs a lot nicer, so. I think that was sort of like the test bed for the OG Xbox backwards compatibility. And it's just speculation, but it seems like that's probably what it was for. And we're dead. It's okay. That's the other thing with some of my original Xbox games, is that, like, you know, like Panzer Dragoon Orta, for instance, is one of those games that's compatible, and it's like, you know, I could play it on the original Xbox, or I could play it on the Xbox One at 1080p. And everything looks beautiful, you know, like... I can play it in good old blurry 480i, or I can, or in some rare cases 480p, or I can play it upscaled, and you know, it just First world problems. Alright, let's fall down. It is a nice problem to have. Yep. Holy crap, dude. This is what I should have done the first time. It's not that hard, Austin. It's only Quake. Quake is actually a really easy game when you know what you're doing. It's like super easy. So many levels in this game are designed with like a very specific flow in mind, it seems. Yeah, you'll have power-ups that'll either keep you invincible or, you know, give you 4 times the damage so you can just annihilate everything. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, you know, it's not hard when you know what you're doing. When you don't know what you're doing, I still don't think it's that hard, because you can at least take your time in most situations, you know? Oh, so you do have difficulty choices. I'm playing on the hardest, which is kind of like... yeah, it's kind of like the default for me. It's just what I always play on. But even then, the hard mode in the game is not really that hard when you know the flow of the levels and... But even still, you can always take your time. You know, you're not... You know, there's no time limit. And that is it. This is the only level in the game with weird gravity. This is just a secret map for those of you guys that haven't played this before. This is the secret map for episode 1. Hey Dubs, how's it going, man? Is there any go for a picnic difficulty? Oh yeah, absolutely, man. There are 4 difficulties in the game. Yeah, I mean, like, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, when you get into, like, the rhythm and flow of things, you know where certain power-ups are. They're placed in a way to where if you make good use of them, you just wreck through the whole level. Hey, Chaos. N64 Quake. Man, that's tough, man. N64 Quake's not easy. Yeah, so if you want to make Quake really hard, play the N64 version. You miss playing Quake 2. Yeah, so it's kind of an odd design decision, in my opinion, for Quake 64 was they amped up the AI. So you're already limited with that version by being, you know, stuck on that N64 controller, which going from keyboard and mouse to that is like, Quake is also a very fast game, if you couldn't tell, so it's The N64 controller, while I really enjoy it, it's not well suited to really fast first-person shooters like Quake, like twitchy FPS games. It worked for stuff like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark with how like the auto aim was implemented, and Turok. You know, Turok was very slow compared to Quake. And it worked well for Doom 64 because, you know, the required control method for that game is more simplistic than Quake. Yeah, it didn't really work too well for Quake. But then you had a lower frame rate, which didn't help it, and then you had them raise the AI for some reason. So if you played on Nightmare, the ogres would actually throw grenades faster than they did in the PC version on Nightmare, on the same difficulty. So that was a really weird design decision. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I guess they didn't want people beating the game in like a rental. That's always like an excuse I hear. Yeah, Quake 64 is not a game I usually recommend to people that want to play Quake. I'm like, you know, play the PC version with the source port. Enjoy that keyboard and mouse. But I will usually recommend Quake 64 to like hardcore fans of the original game, people that want to see all the versions and whatnot. Yeah, it is non-stop grenade spam. It's yeah, so these ogres would be firing grenades probably about twice as fast as they do right now. Oops, I need to hit this. Also, I can't remember. I think certain things were patched, not patched out, but adjusted. Like, I don't think there are holes in the ground in this part on Quake 64. So, like, this part was actually made more difficult. I am thinking about 64 Quake, I think. Not Saturn Quake. I'm pretty sure Saturn Quake still had the open gratings. But yeah, this was one of the first parts when I played this back in the day that I died at. Pretty hardcore. Because you fall down and there are 3 ogres dropping grenades at you and you can't go anywhere. But it wasn't until later I found out you can just shoot them from up top. See, you're pretty much stuck here for a moment. There we go. And doing that on Quake 64 is just... it's a nightmare. You remember it. Okay, yeah, it must be the Saturn version I'm thinking of where I think you can still shoot them from above. Actually, you might not even be able to in the Saturn version. They might not spawn until you drop down. Saturn version has a lot of compromises like that. Don't ever play the Saturn version, by the way. Alright. Man, it's crazy to think how short some of these levels are. Again, when you know the rhythm and flow, man, you tear right through this game. So you save that quad damage for last, and then whee! I'm not complaining, that's one of the things I like about Quake. One of the things about, like, speeding through Doom is that you end up not killing a lot of stuff in the process, but with Quake, like, you could speed through it and still get 100%, you know? And you feel like you make rapid progress at the same time. It's one reason I like to go back and just play the original Quake casually like this. I can play it quick, yet I'm not speedrunning it. It's just kind of the nature of the original Quake. Wow, I'm surprised I haven't gotten a hit. I usually get wrecked by this guy. His fireballs are so unpredictable. Alright. Oops, my mouse just glitched out. I had actually thought about playing some Doom today, but I was really in one of those I have no idea what I want to play kinds of moods. Yeah, really no idea. In multiplayer, this actually teleports you back up. Kind of interesting. Honestly, man, it might be a result of just us streaming way too often. Like, I mean, I'm probably a lot worse about it than you are. Like, I don't even know what it feels like to not stream anymore. It's just like, I have a hard time just coming home and just making myself relax and just not do anything. I mean, it's not like streaming is hard work or anything. Especially when you take it more casually like I do, where I just come home, I fire up the stream, I just play whatever. But sometimes, like, I definitely feel like I'm forcing myself to play. Like, what do I play? I have no idea. And then just not feeling anything. It actually kind of reminds me of back when I was younger. When I was in like middle school and high school, that would happen all the time. Because I didn't have a job, I didn't have obligations or anything like that. Oops, and I missed the key. I don't know why I always do this, man, whenever I play this. I need to go back and get the key. Where the hell did the key go? But I do sometimes wonder, like, if I just kind of cut back on the streaming, like, if maybe I get that natural desire back to just play some random games. I don't know. And I'm not saying, like, I don't enjoy streaming or anything like that, but I do get that feeling more often than not where, like, I just really have no idea what to play. I actually came home from work, and all night at work I was telling myself I want to play Quake Champions. Because I binged it about a month ago, and then never went back to it. You know, I played it for like a week straight. And then I got home and I was like, I don't feel like playing Quake Champions anymore. Like, what do I want to do? I don't know. And so I fired up Steam. I'm looking at my Steam library, just like when I look at my Xbox One or PS4 library. It's so much choice, yet nothing sticks out. It's just one of those kinds of mornings, you know? There's this thing I sort of do in my head where, like, if I'm not streaming and playing video games, I almost feel like I'm wasting my time. So streaming kind of makes me feel somewhat productive, even if I'm just playing video games. Because, like, you guys are out there hanging out and chatting with me and whatnot, and someone's getting some kind of entertainment value out of it in one way or another. So when I'm not streaming, it just feels weird. It's kind of a weird conundrum. Mayhem 18, because the DSDA Discord is running a demo pack for it. Making demos. Cool. See, like, as I'm here talking about this, I'm thinking to myself, do I actually want to play Quake anymore? Have I had enough? Is an episode and a half enough? I don't know. We'll just stick with it. Unless you guys want to see something else. At this point, it doesn't really matter to me. I guess it has been a few months since I last ran through this game, though. Orange and purple, 43-ish maps, yeah. I will say, playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 the last couple weeks has been kind of nice in that it's let me take a break from Doom. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing too much Doom. To where, like, I end up having the same problem, but with just Doom. Like, what WOD do I play? I have no idea what I want to play. Alright, I didn't even get the grenade launch. Oh no, I did. My key bindings are throwing me for a loop. Oh crap, that's not good. Yeah, some people think I play too much Doom too. You still haven't beaten Dark Souls? We'll see what happens with this map. This map can be kind of a pain. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't play Doom today, though. I had actually had the game set to Doom, then I was looking at my WAD list, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I just fired up Quake instead. I remember feeling like playing Quake a few weeks back when I was playing Doom, and I never did. So it's kind of good I'm firing it up right now. And we might switch over to something else, I don't know. I'm not sure when. A lot of times what happens is when I'm not feeling the games, I'll play until I die, and then I literally lose interest, and then I just swap over to something else. Although with Quake here, I did die once already. I always forget, like, some of these doors have pentagrams on them. I usually play through the game so fast, like, I don't even know what doors are shut. And I always forget, like, some of the artwork used in the game. Man, thinking about the original Xbox, man, I want to play some Outrun 2 now. I should play the version on Steam. Oh there, dude. You can settle down there, my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this armor. All right. Oh, I missed. Alright. Oops. Oops. Shamblers are so easy to deal with, but if you make some dumb mistakes, they can kill you pretty quickly. The grenade launcher is so good in the original Quake. Oh, that was fine. Alright, so that basically lowers the gate to get to the bonus stage. Come on. The dopefish lives! The dopefish never died. Alright. Bonus level. The dopefish part, I don't think was in the 64 one. But this level, I believe, was. We're gonna go through Quake 64 sometime. I just have to get my system back. It's out to be Ultra HDMI modded. And it seems like it's still gonna be another month or two before it's done. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, this map was definitely in the 64 one. I remember, like, the distinct lighting and whatnot. But yeah, I don't remember the dopefish being there. That guy's stuck. Probably gonna have to go use the restroom here in a minute. Still no rocket launcher. There's actually a wall here that can open up as long as you shoot all of these. Notice that the first time you shoot it, your bullets will, and shrapnel will be red. If you hit all of them on the map, that'll open up, revealing a secret. Alright, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. My stomach's not feeling too well, so... Oh. Let's change that. Alright, I'll be right back. Back to the grind. This is actually the last level in this episode. It's not the best way of doing things, but it works. I missed a secret too. Oh well, we're just gonna skip it. Ow. Yeah, that was reckless. Whoa, 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 where the fuck did you come from? He just like appeared out of nowhere. Alright. Well, that's Quake. Oh, man.